So let's see some KTU-S for Python lab Viva questions. First question is, what is Python? Python is a high-level interpreted programming language. It is known for its reliability and simplicity. Python supports multiple programming paradigms like procedural, object-oriented as well as functional programming. Next is, what are the key features of Python? Python is easy to read, it is easy to write, and there is a large standard library available. It supports multiple programming paradigms. Python is a dynamically typed language. That is, when you're typing, you need not declare the data types. Then it has a strong community, widely used in the field of data science, web development, automation. Next question, what is PEP8? PEP stands for Python Enhancement Proposal. These are certain guidelines and practices to write Python code. Topics such as code layout, naming conventions, etc. What is the difference between a list and tuple in Python? Lists in Python, they are mutable, meaning the elements in a list can be changed, added or removed. Whereas a tuple is immutable, that is, once it has been created, it can't be changed. Lists are defined using square brackets, while tuples are defined by using parentheses. What are Python's built-in data types? Python has various built-in data types such as integers, floating point numbers, strings, lists, tuples, dictionaries, sets, and booleans. What are lambda function? Lambda function is any small anonymous functions that define using the lambda keyword. Lambda functions can have any number of arguments but only one expression. Lambda is often used for short throwaway functions. Example of a lambda function is add lambda x comma y. Then you can put a colon which gives x plus y. And when you print of add 2 plus 3, 2 and 3 are assigned values of x and y. And then you calculate x plus y. So here you simply have to use the keyword lambda. Add is equal to lambda x comma y and give 2 dots x plus y, which means whatever values you are assigning to x and y, by passing the values in these parameters, it would be assigned to x and y and calculates the sum of x plus y and returns. Using the lambda keyword, you can define functions. What is a decorator in Python? Decorators are functions that can take another function and extend its behavior without modifying it. Decorators helps in logging, access controls, instrumentation and caching. So here decorator is a function. So you can create a decorator by using the def keyword. Def, give a name of the decorator, my decorator, or function, and def wrapper bracket, and you can print something that has to happen, then call the function, again print something, and then return wrapper. And then you can call at my decorator of, you can call my decorator function, and def say hello, print hello. When you call this function footprint, you can call the function say hello. Explain list comprehension and give an example. So what is list comprehension? It is a concise way to create list. So here it consists of brackets that contains an expression followed by a for clause and 0 more if clauses. This is an example. Here we have squares is equal to, and you're putting a square bracket, and inside the square bracket you can define a condition like x raised to 2 for x in range 10, and you simply provide this, and when you write print of squares, the output would be 0. That is, x takes the values in range 10, which means from 0 to 10 minus 1, that is from 0 to 9. So you get 0 square, 1 square, etc. till 9 square, 81. So this is list comprehension, where instead of providing one by one in a list, you can give a function, or you can give a statement or expression and just give the range or condition for this to happen. And this has to be enclosed within square brackets. What is the difference between init and call in Python class? Init is a method, it is a constructor to call an instance of class is created, whereas call method allows an instance of class to be called as a function. So whenever the instance of a class is created, it first calls the init method. Okay, while call method allows an instance of a class to be called as a function. Example of a class is def init of self, print instance created. Def call of self, print instance called as function. Object is equal to example of, and when you call this class, the output would be instance created. So whenever the instance of the class is first created, right, you're calling this class example of and assigning it an object. The first instance of class is an object, right? You create an instance, and when the first time you create an instance of that class, what is called init function is called. So init is printed. Function, the statement inside init function is printed. While the call method allows an instance of a class to be called as a function, but by using this def call of self function, object of, which means it would be called. What are generators in Python? How do they differ from regular functions? Generators are functions that returns an iterator and allows you to iterate through a sequence of values. They define using the yield keyword instead of return. While generators are thus more memory efficient because they generate values on the fly, generators are more memory efficient as they generate values on the fly and do not store the entire sequence. Example of a generator, def generate numbers of, so this would print for I in range 5, yield 5. Instead of using the return keyword, we use the keyword yield. So it would give the output for number in generate numbers of, printf number when you call this, for number in, like for each in generate numbers, for each in this function, printf number, which means at the time when you're calling one by one, you're creating a value and printing it. We will not store the entire sequence, thus they are more memory efficient. What are Python standard data types? Standard data types in Python, we have numeric types like integers, float, complex numbers. Sequence types, we have list, tuple, ranges. Then we have text like strings. Mapping types, dictionaries called dict, set, booleans, bool. Binary types like bytes, byte array, and memory view. Next is, what is the difference between equal to and is operator in Python? Equal operator which checks the equality. It checks whether the values of two variables on the left and right of the equality sign is same. While the is operator would check identity equality. It checks whether the two variables point to the same object. So this equal sign is checking the equality of the values of variables. Values of the variables are same or not, whereas is operator would check whether they are pointing to the same object in the memory. So here A equal to 1, 2, 3, B equal to 1, 2, 3. So while using the equal to operator, they both have the same values, so it would give you true. Whereas A is B is false as they're pointing to two different objects A and B. And here C equal to A, we are assigning the object A to C. So here both of them point to the same object. So A is C would give you true. Next, what is slicing in Python? Slicing is a technique to access some parts of a sequence like list, tuple or string by specifying a start, stop and a step. Syntax for slicing is you have to specify the start, stop and the step. So in this list from 0 to 5, if you print my list of 1 to 4, it would give you numbers starting from index 1 to 4. That is 0, 1, 2, 3. So you have index 1, 2 and 3. If you print my list of double dot to 3, which means you have to start from the beginning and end at the 3 minus 1 second index. So it is 0, 1 and 2. Next, my list of, there are 2 columns and there is a step is only, the start and stop is not specified, you only specify the step, which means it starts from the full list has to be taken and you have to consider a step of 2. So first you will print 0, then 1, 2, and you have to take a second one, 2, 3, then the fourth one, 4. Next, what is the purpose of parse statement in Python? Parse statements as a null operation uses a placeholder in loops, functions, classes or conditionals. The code is syntactically required, but you do not want to write any code yet. So if you want to have some place where you're not ready to write any code and you want to leave some space, so pass statement can be used as a placeholder. So for example, inside this function, pass can simply be written in order to be made as a placeholder. So here you can write code later when you need it. Next, what are star args and KW args in Python? These are certain variables. They used to pass a variable number of arguments. Using args, you can pass a non-keyworded variable length argument list. While using KW args, you can pass a keyworded variable length argument list. It is used to pass, so these are used to pass variable number of arguments to a function. Example in my function of star args, star KW args, which means you can pass variable number of arguments. Printf args and printf KW args. My function of 1, 2, 3, comma, a equal to 4, b equal to 5. So KW args stands for keyworded variable length arguments. So here you're giving key value pairs like a equal to 4. A is the key and 4 is the value, whereas here you're simply providing variables 1, 2, 3. What is the difference between deep copy and copy? So copy is a function which would create a shallow copy. That is, it is just copying the object and not the references. Whereas deep copy would create a deep copy. That is, it would copy the object as well as all the object that it references. Copy function would create a shallow copy of an object, that is just the object. It does not copy the references. Whereas deep copy is a function that would create a deep copy, which means it would copy the object as well as all the other references as well. So if we call import copy and then original is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Shallow copy equal to copy dot copy of original. Deep copy equal to